Take 4. What's the gag for this week? What were we doing before the intro?
Well, I always think of one. You guys think of one for once. I always do it. I've done the last 3 or 4. I mean, come on.
I got an idea.
Who's got ideas?
I got an idea.
Yeah, but we want good ideas.
Oh, bloody hell. Right, listen what...
Go on then. Go on.
All right, look, this is what I'm going to say. Hear me out. Right, do you remember when we were young, we used to do rock, paper, scissors, like in football team? When we were going to pick a football team, we do rock, paper, scissors, see who's going to pick first and whatnot. Why don't we do rock, paper, scissors, and the loser, or whatever, the winner, whatever you want to say, has to change their team name to something wacky, like Chew My Obstacles. I don't know.
Yeah.
What you say?
That's quite...
It doesn't matter. No, we can pick a name. We can pick a name.
Yeah, but when you think of a good intro, call me anyway, because
No, there he goes. Oh, are you recording?
What?
No way.
Oh. We're live. And there's a possible red card at Fulham v Aston Villa. We're recording this as the Fulham Aston Villa game is going on. And it looks like Douglas Luiz has been given a red card.
Oh, yes, with his hair.
I can tell Douglas Luiz got a red card, but nobody cares about Aston Villa anymore. Not even Steven Gerrard. He's feeling exactly like we feel playing this game. Nobody I pick over scores. No matter which players I put on the pitch, I never get any points.
Welcome to Top 4 FPL, the fantasy Premier League game that gives you not statistics, but information live for football games. Today we're going to be talking about Spurs, Conte, and the theory that was Nunez that's becoming reality. We'll be having a new section called, what's the new section called, Van Duzel?
Did you know?
Did you know? In fact, we can start that right away. Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
What's did you know?
Well, did you know? For instance, I'll give you an example. Did you know that Sanchez, well, he's in my team. I hate him. He's the worst. But he did get a clean sheet. But in the last 2 games, that's 180 plus minutes, he hasn't made one single save. Not one single save. I mean, Lloris made 8 in 1 game. Henderson made 7 against Brighton in the same game. Sanchez didn't make any saves. He must have really soft hands.
He's your keeper.
And mine.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm watching football whilst I'm talking to you guys. Is that crazy?
No,
it's beautiful.
The rock, paper, scissors idea was chew my obstacle. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I just said the first thing that came to my mind. And I would never use that as a punchline or a pickup line, that's for sure.
Pickup line? If you use the pickup line, you'd be like...
But I just thought it has to be something crazy.
But Leicester 2-0. Harvey Barnes.
Harvey Barnes scoring for Leicester there. Bunny, have you got a did you know fact like Van Duzel just came up with?
Did you know that Alan Shearer, by missing 11 penalties, is the highest penalty misser in the history of the Premier League? Yeah, he's a misser.
Well, he's the highest Premier League scorer and the highest Premier League misser of penalties.
No. He is actually the highest scorer as well, with 56 penalties he scored in the history of the Premier League.
Can we tag Alan Shearer into this when we post it on Twitter?
Yeah, he's a legend. He's actually got the most goals in Premier League history still. He holds that record, doesn't he still?
He is a legend.
So.
Yeah. And while we're talking about Twitter, follow us all on Twitter as well as our channel, Top 4 FPL.
Right, did you know? I got like 2.5 did you knows. The first one is the most recent one. Did you know Darwin Nunez now holds the record for the fastest recorded speed in the Premier League with 38 kilometers an hour? He is now officially the fastest player in Premier League history.
No. They said 38 kilometers an hour.
That's what I said.
I thought you said 28, sorry.
No, 38 kilometers an hour, beating Kyle Walker's previous 37.42189.
Yeah, he's the fastest at the moment. He's the fastest in the Premier League. Yeah,
unbelievable. Yes. He's like a horse.
I didn't know that, but watching him yesterday, I was like, wow, the guy can shift some speed. You know,
deceptively fast.
He was very fast. So Yeah.
Interesting.
That's a good one.
All right, I've got one
Okay.
actually for fantasy Premier League managers out there. Did you know that Gareth Bale is the only player in fantasy Premier League history to score, get an assist, get booked, and score an own goal in the same game?
Oh my God. You can't. Oh,
Wow.
you're kidding me. Wow.
Yes.
Say that
Gareth-
again.
That is amazing.
He scored, he got an
Yeah.
assist, he got booked, and he scored an own goal, all in the same game.
Wow. Did he get sent
Wow.
off?
So how many points did he
He
get
did
in
get sent off,
fantasy
no.
football at the time?
Yeah, does he get bonus points for that?
He should probably get.
And
That's
did
an
he do them
achievement.
all on purpose just to get that
No,
record?
no. But can you imagine? You got Gareth Bale in your team, and it's like, yes, he scored, wicked, he got an assist. Oh, he's booked. Motherfucker's just scored an own goal.
I would have thought that he would have clocked a higher speed than Darwin Nunez, than Nuno Nunez.
Don't underrate the
Oh.
Nunez. Don't
Yeah.
underrate the Nunez. Right. Did you know that had FPL been created in the 1800s, the formations would have looked a lot different?
Right.
In the 1800s, when association football first started,
Yes.
formations looked more like 1, 3, like what's the math? 6. So they would play with one defender, and like
Really?
6, 7, or 8 attackers. Yeah.
You're joking.
And the first association international football match between Scotland and England, Scotland played a 2-2-6 formation.
That's the kind of thing that we'd say.
Yes, exactly.
1-1-3.
That's
England,
amazing.
1-1-9.
England played a 1-1-8 formation.
That's so funny.
1-1-8.
It's like everybody wants to be a
1-1-8.
striker.
8 striker, exactly. It'd be brilliant. For
Like
playing,
guys, somebody's
Sunday
got to be
League.
in
Everyone-
defense. Come on, man. No one's listening. Come on, guys. You can't have 10 attackers. Yeah, we always used to.
Yes, but
Ke-
even better than that, what was the score for that match between Scotland and England, the first association international match?
38-72.
0-0.
You're joking.
You couldn't write it. You couldn't make it up.
Unbelievable. So all those strikers were just so sucky. It's unbelievable.
That
I
is
can't believe it.
crazy.
None of
Well,
them
the
were even
defenders
worth
were
a
brilliant.
defender.
You could have a look at it. Or you had,
I
like,
thought
Virgil van Dijk's great granddad was in defence.
I was going to say.
Before we move ahead to looking at our teams and the game week 12 fixtures, one final did you know, which is very relevant because we've been talking about him, he's in my team. Did you know that Mason Mount, after 173 appearances, has had more goals and assists than Frank Lampard, taking one less penalty?
way.
Wow. No.
No
Really?
way. No way.
Absolutely.
Mason
fact.
Manton.
Mason
No.
Mount. Mason Mount, I'll give you the exact figures. Frank Lampard, in 173 appearances for Chelsea,
Right.
scored 31 goals, had 18 assists, and 3 penalties. Mason Mount has scored 32. He's got 36 assists with 2 penalties. So, if you're looking to buy a player, and you probably have bought him because he's been scoring and assisting the last couple of
Yep,
weeks,
he's been doing well.
Mason Mount.
Mm.
But before we have a look at our top 4 FPL Fantasy Premier League, just need to tell you that it's still continuing at Fulham. They're 2-0 up against Aston Villa, and Leicester are also winning 2-0 at home to Leeds. So those games haven't completed. So the table that we're going to be able to show you is currently not updated based on those results. Before the updates, IIS 90, Ivan Arno on 55 points is top of the top 4 FPL league. We don't have any new entrants this week. If you want to join our league, the link's in the description. But
Yeah.
IIS Arno is currently top of the league. And in second place, we have
Everwood.
Anfield of Dreams, our man,
come
Adam
on!
Osman,
Woo. Well done, Adam.
Well done, Adam.
who's on 48 points.
Adam's playing
and-
well.
But look at his goalkeepers. He has Raya in goal, he scored 10, and Henderson,
he's got
who's on
back there.
11. So he's
Yeah,
doing well with his
Raya.
goalkeepers for this game week. Muhammad Ali joined us last week. FPL Nerds MJ has dropped down to third currently with a red arrow on 41 points. And
Right.
propping up the league at the moment, out of all of
Yeah.
us, is Ogleford Club Shots.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Well, that's funnier than the name now. Oscar
What
was
is
saying
that?
at the beginning.
Well, let's have a quick review of the team. I'm going to have Nico Williams has got. I've done well with my defence this week.
Yeah, that name
Nick-
worked for you.
Yeah, but because the FPL names, as we said
Yeah.
when we had our FPL names episode, if you have a good
Yeah.
FPL team name, the science and the stats tell you that you do well. So I changed the name from Glory of Alpinson, which I'll change back to at some point maybe, to Ogleford Clubshots. And
interesting sounding name.
Almiron got you 10 points. Look at that.
But the most important thing is, Almiron's got to be 10 points, and I've got a green arrow this week. We've had a look at quite a few of the teams in the league, but we haven't had a look at terrible tankers. Omar Zaim, he's a season ticket holder at the Emirates. He spends more time at real games than playing Fantasy Premier League. So doesn't look like he's managing his team, but he's got a fairly decent team. They just haven't been scoring. But it's obviously he hasn't been managing it because he hasn't stubbed out Luis Diaz. But
they haven't even been playing.
But then we've got a new entry. No, it's not a new entry. It's an old entry. It's Van Duzel with a new team.
Raging Moonbugs.
Can we home in on that on my team there? It's called
the name.
Yes,
the Raging Moonbugs.
Because I didn't do too well with my last team name, which was Schematrix. I thought that might have helped Scamacca score because Thunderstrike helped Strout score. And then I thought, you know what? I'm just going to call it the Raging Moonbugs because that's exactly how I feel. And that's how I feel. And I thought this name might help my team. But I was sadly wrong.
Can I tell you why your team is like this? It's because at the beginning of the season, you looked at everyone's team and said, yours is the best and you're going to destroy everyone. Yeah. And then this happened.
Next up with the... Oh, my God. Explain. What is this?
Oh, my gosh. The team that you made.
Well, I'm a
Flummyvic.
Well, if anything, it's worked. He's got 60 points.
It did work.
Listen.
It's a mystical combination of letters.
I like hip hop. I'm a bunny, I hop. So it's a hippie hop.
So there was a bit of method to that madness then.
Yeah.
The defensive back line has obviously put a huge score on the board for Bunny there. Allison, man of the match.
And he said before the game, Allison's going to save a penalty. He said he called it.
My Allison done me a good one.
My Allison.
Another green arrow has also changed their name.
Nunez fact.
If you don't theory has become a fact.
Yes, I said it. You don't sleep on Nunez. He's going to take this league by storm. He's going to do it. Leaving it that he had a blinder yesterday. Happy. And so this is actually probably my best score in quite a few weeks.
Wow.
So I'm not too upset, quite a way above the average at the moment, which is good.
Yeah.
Sanchez, who we've been insulting, obviously bucked up his ideas this week, so that was good. Trippier, he's probably the most consistent player in FPL this season.
He's scoring higher than Cancelo.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Other than Haaland, he must be the most consistent player.
He is.
I bought in Thiago Silva for Zinchenko last week, and guess what? He didn't play. How crap. So I'm not happy. I'm going to write to FPL about that. And I took a -8 to bring in Trossard this week, and he did F all against Nottingham Forest. Actually, that brings me to another Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know that Trossard had 3 shots on goal against Liverpool and scored all 3 of them? And he had 4 shots on goal against Nottingham Forest, the worst defense in the league, and scored none. So that makes him a butt munch.
A miss player.
It makes him your Gollum of the McAllister for this week. Eze's done well for you, 10 points, highest scoring player this week.
Eze, I watch this player week in, week out, and I said it. I know probably a lot of Liverpool supporters will shoot me for saying something like this. Maybe not shoot me, but berate me either way. If I wasn't a Liverpool supporter, I watch Crystal Palace. I really like Crystal Palace as a club, especially at the moment. I mean, Zaha, a lot of people complain. Even I complain about Zaha, but he's always
he's a wicked player.
They got Olise, Edouard. These guys perform. Like when you watch them, they're performing, man. They're putting in these thing. And Eze, I think, is my favorite player for Crystal Palace. Not just because of this, but because of the way he is. Yeah, so Crystal Palace would be the team that I would support if I wasn't a Liverpool supporter. I love them as a team. They got a brilliant fan base. I haven't done my transfer yet, but I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of Reece James. Hopefully he has a swift recovery because he's not going to be around, unfortunately. And I'm probably going to get Saliba against Southampton.
Saliba.
Yes, I'm going to probably bring him in. Well, no, I will bring him in. So I'm going to be bringing in Saliba this week. Saliba.
Did anybody watch the Man United Spurs game yesterday?
Yep,
I did.
Yeah, most of it.
It was a good game. Man United absolutely battered Spurs.
Well, I was watching. This obviously coincided with Liverpool West Ham, and the first half was going on as Liverpool West Ham was going on. And at one point, I looked on the league table to see that Man United were 3 points ahead of Liverpool. And I'm like, hang on a sec, we should be level on points. And then it occurred to me that Man United must be winning. But every time Spurs go to Old Trafford, it's literally like they just pull their pants down and say, "Look, go on then."
Why don't I remember it like that? I always remember Spurs going there and being a bit of a bogey team at Old Trafford. Am I going mad?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I think Fernandes was awesome. Do you know what? I think he's going to start firing up a bit like Haaland. He's going to be the next Haaland this season.
I wouldn't pick him, but not just because I'm not picking Man United players.
I think I am going to pick him next round.
So
what are your thoughts on Ronaldo?
I think that's it for Ronaldo anyway. I don't think, guys, if you're thinking of buying Ronaldo, I really don't think he's going to play again. I mean, after that display that he put on yesterday, not on the pitch, the off the pitch display, that's 2 games in a row now. The camera's panned in on him, you know, being unprofessional, really. I mean, last time he was shaking his head when he got taken off. Like, if you're in a football team and someone takes you off, and it's like, especially like a world-beating football team on the world stage, when you're being substituted and your friend, essentially it's your friend, the other player coming on, and you have to get along with your friend because you're a team, what would you do? You have to shake his hand and say, "Good luck, mate. You know, you played for 75 minutes, hand it over to the next guy." This guy's like, "What are you doing, man? You're putting your own teammates down. You're putting your team down, and you're supposed to be like a well-renowned professional." So it was terrible. And again, against Tottenham, everyone saw it on Match of the Day. Like, you've probably seen it in the news. He just walked down the tunnel 2 minutes before the game was over, and there's still extra time to go. You're a substitute. There's still a chance your manager might want you to come on, and you've just walked out of the stadium.
Actually, Ten Hag asked him to come on, apparently, and he refused to go on.
No way.
So,
wow.
I mean, at the end of the day, Ronaldo lost a lot of respect from me. He's one of the few Man United players that I've always had a lot of love and respect for as a Liverpool supporter. Him, Cantona, surprisingly enough, one of the, United legends.
Definitely.
I've always liked Cantona. Never had any bad words against Cantona, even when he jumped and beat that Crystal Palace fan up, which he was right to do, in my opinion. Bunny, you want to stand up for him?
I'm going to stand up for him because he turned down a lot of money to return to Manchester United. He did.
Did he?
Okay. Of course.
What money was that?
Manchester City offered him far more money than Manchester United did. He wasn't about the money. The only reason he returned to Manchester United is to go back to his old roots. And when he got back there, he's expecting to play. Now, if you get this guy from where he is, from playing in Champions League and various places, and bring him in, and hardly get him to have full 90-minute games, and get him back into the routine of playing with Manchester United, he's going to get pissed off. I'd get pissed off. I would have had better opportunities out there.
Nobody likes being taken off as a sub, but you're a professional. Professional means professional.
The guy's been bringing him on in the last 5 minutes on the games. This guy is a world-class player.
We all know that. We all know that. Nobody's saying
he
still is. He used to be.
He's not the same player he was, and it doesn't. You're not bigger than the club. You have to respect your, like Van Dulzel said, you respect your teammates, and you do what the manager tells you. Otherwise, you're just a disruptive influence.
If
I
got taken off and then you were coming on, I would be upset, and I'd say, "No, man, I'm a better player, maybe." But when you come on, I'd say, "Oh, good luck, man."
And this isn't the first time he's done that. Last season, when I can't remember which game it was, he was coming off the pitch, and there was a kid who just happened to be a child with autism filming him with his camera phone, and he smashed his phone.
I remember that. Yeah. So, he's becoming a bit of
I missed that one.
A bit of a strop thrower and like throwing hissy fits all over the place lately. So, I think he's got to get off cloud 9 now and see the rest of his career out in humility, because he's doing exactly the opposite at the moment.
Are you saying Ronaldo is a bad influence on Manchester United then?
He's a bad influence on children at the moment. Yeah,
it's a bad influence in the dressing room for Manchester United. But anyway.
I mean, I'm going to play a bit of devil's advocate a little bit. I mean, you never know. Obviously, there's also all the psychological side of it. As I understand it, he's gone through quite a bit with family and so on. So he might be in a bad place. Because I'm with
don't judge.
I'm with CEO. Ronaldo is probably the only player from Man United that I have, like
respect for
in that sense, or
And
who I liked
Cantona.
as a guy, as a player, as a character. And he's usually quite charitable with his interactions with the fans.
He is very
you know what I
charitable.
mean?
That's why. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. So I just feel like he's probably in a bad place. It's devil's advocate.
Actually,
agree.
that's a valid
agree.
point. That's a valid point, and need to think about that. Anyway, moving on. Nunez. Sparky, you were saying Nunez was the fastest player in Premier League history, and just a quick note, any quick points about his performance yesterday?
What it is people were doubting him. I know yourself was doubting him at the beginning of the season. I don't see it. I don't see what he was doing. And I was always saying, look, this guy, he gets into the box. He busts his ass to get into the box, a lot like Haaland. Like if you watch Haaland, when someone's on the ball and he's on his own, he absolutely kills himself to get into the box. And Nunez has done this. And I've seen him do this in Europe last season. And he is very usually composed in front of goal, but he's still finding his feet at Liverpool, and we've seen it yesterday. But once he finds his feet,
I'm going to step in there because sorry, Nunez. I'm not going to lie. He is a very fast player. He's a very good player, but he is not a clever player. Okay, because yesterday, he is not a clever player. Liverpool could have scored so many goals yesterday.
Yeah,
with Nunez's help. But he was so selfish because
it depends what the manager has said to him. If the manager said to him, look, as soon as you see the goal, shoot.
Exactly.
I felt for Salah yesterday because the guy is struggling to score already, and every time Nunez gets the ball, he's going for goal and missing.
Yeah, I think Salah would be the last person that would be able to say anything to anybody about that kind of thing.
Exactly.
I think you would understand.
Either way, I'm not commenting on Salah right now.
You're a bit bitter because you got Salah and you captained him, and so am I. But, I mean, you've got to face it. Now, Liverpool have got a new formation. I wouldn't believe that that's the same way they were playing last season.
I know, CEO, you were very doubtful about Nunez. Have you, in particular, seen anything that has given you hope with him?
I think he can. I believe every player can improve. Arsene Wenger improved Ray Parlour. He became known as the Pele of Romford Pele.
Romford.
If you remember Ray Parlour before Arsene Wenger, well, if you remember Arsenal before Arsene Wenger, it was a completely different team. But obviously, when he came in, he transformed that team. Arsene Wenger came in, and the player that he transformed the most was Ray Parlour. That guy became a completely different player. At the end of the day, if you want to play football, if you want to become a top player, you train, you improve your skills. I used to be completely left-footed when I was a kid, until my dad told me I'm only kicking the ball with my left foot. So I spent literally days on end kicking the ball against. It was like Rocky when he ties his arm up. You're a southpaw, you need to jab with your left, and he's like, okay, makes him start jabbing with his left. I wouldn't do anything except kick the ball against the garage door with my right foot. So now I'm two-footed. You can develop yourself. But we're talking about players on a different level. At the end of the day, these guys are professional footballers, and they can become anyone. They should
all be able to kick with both feet.
In short, Nunez, yes, he can become a world beater, and he's shown a lot of what is to come. And I believe in your new name, the Nunez fact. The Top 4 FPL admin tweeted about it. Theory has become fact.
Wicked.
So, it'd be a good bet to captain Nunez against Forest this Saturday. Well, as you said earlier, the games are still continuing. A quick look at the scores. Fulham have beaten Villa 3-0. Own goal for Tyrone Mings. So, sorry for anybody who's still got him in their side. Leicester have beaten Leeds 2-0. Banduzel and Bunny have made their substitutions. I haven't. I'll be making mine. Sparky will be making his over today, I'm assuming, tonight, tomorrow. And then you can see what those are in episode 13. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, join our league, and we'll see you again in episode 13.
Subscribe to our comments.